How you doing? I used to be Jimmy Falcone, a capo in the New York crime family. That's like a vice president of an important company like IBM or Hooters. But now I'm Jimmy MacDougal, because I'm in witness protection, living like a schnook in Canada. See, a while back, I got word that the bosses put out a contract on my Uncle Cheech. Poor guy's been hit on the head a few too many times. He was blabbing about all our best stuff. The Hoffa thing, the Kennedy thing, Scientology. I had to do something. So, I got me a sit-down with the boss. Cheech made him a buttload of money over the years, so I figured I could appeal to the man's soft side.
You are so f***ed.
He was right. I was f***ed. I don't know about your business, but in mine, you can't whack a boss. Oh, Rocco, Fatso, Big Nose, long time. How you punks doing? No crap. The organization went nuts. These were my best friends from grade school coming after me. We used to shake down the homeless together just for kicks. I never thought they'd grow up to be so mean. I mean, I had just gotten those windows reinstalled and these sons of bitches knew it. I didn't know what to do, where to go, who to trust. So I crossed over to the dark side.
Play ball with us, Jimmy. Help us lock away your cronies and we'll protect you.
We'll put you somewhere they'll never find you.
Somewhere they won't even think to look.
Somewhere far.
And remote.
And cold.
Very cold.
Excuse me, why's it gotta be cold?
Because cold sucks and we don't like you.
I see the logic in that. So that's what I did. Ratted out everyone I knew so that my children could grow up with a father that ain't dead. And that's how we came to be living here, in Regina, Saskatchewan.
That's Regina, you freaking moron.
Potato, quit busting my balls, I'm talking here. That's my wife, Cookie. She's a pain in the ass, but I gotta say I love her. You know, 'cause she's standing right here. Anyway, if any of you think that starting a new life in Regina is gonna change the Falcones,
MacDougals,
forget about it. How you doing? I'm Jimmy MacDougal, but I used to be Jimmy Falcone. You probably read about me in the papers. Mafia big shot turned government stooling. What you don't know is, despite all the bad stuff I done in my life, the one thing I'm most ashamed of was ratting out my friends. That and the time I had to give my grandmother a bath.
He was so gentle. You mind?
Mr. Falcone, you told us your crimes. Now, please point to your accomplices.
How could I do it? I love these guys. Sure, they was trying to kill me, but that's no reason to ruin a buddy's life. What was the question again?
Enough stalling, Mr. Falcone. Either you testify and you and your family will receive protection, or you can all take your chances on the street.
That's blackmail! Arrest that man!
Final warning, Mr. Falcone.
Fine. To keep my family safe, I'll do it. Here goes. Ready? I'm going to point now. Yes, I am. Can you feel the tension? You can cut it with a knife. Especially you, Tommy.
Have it your way, Mr. Falcone. Perhaps your friends will give you a ride home.
Okay! Him. Now get us to Arizona.
Mr. Falcone, it may be best if you don't announce where we'll be hiding you.
Yeah, that was dumb. Can't hide in Arizona now. How about Florida?
Oh, my God.
New Mexico. And that's how we came to be living here in Regina, Saskatchewan. But if any of you think a little cold weather's gonna get us down, forget about it. How you doing? I used to be Jimmy Falcone, a capo in the Gambini crime family. Now, I'm Jimmy MacDougal, living in witness protection like a schnook. But I gotta admit, sometimes I can't help but wonder if it ain't my own damn fault. You see, a while back I needed to ask the Don for a favor.
Oh, buona notte, sweet fishy.
Don Gambini, I come to you on my knees to ask you to call off the hit on my Uncle Cheech. Cheech, he talks a lot, but he don't mean no. No! By the way, not easy keeping the Don in one piece. He was a great man, a brilliant criminal mind, but kind of a spaz. As I was saying, Cheech don't mean no harm. He's just a little light in the cranial region.
Hey, Jimmy, look at that storm brewing. Is that lightning? Son of a bitch, it is lightning. Jimmy, that better be a gun in your pocket.
I beg your forgiveness, Don Gambini. But as I was saying, Godfather, my Uncle Cheech is a good man. Always been a good earner for you, and if you could only show him some mercy.
Jimmy, you come to me on a good day. I received news today that my beautiful daughter Tina is to wed. On this day, I am a happy man, filled with much love.
Does this mean you'll give my Uncle Cheech another chance?
Nah, that ship has sailed. But what it means is that you may bring your family to the wedding. Especially that daughter of yours, that Teresa. What a piece of ass!
So like I said, sometimes I can't help but wonder if it all ain't my own damn fault. 'Cause that's why we wound up in witness protection here in
Regina?
Saskatchewan. But if you think I'm gonna beat myself up over it, forget about it. How you doing? I used to be Jimmy Falcone until I testified against the mob to save my Uncle Cheech. But living in witness protection ain't all peaches and herb. The feds whisk you out of your home and stick you in an army base, and you gotta leave everything behind. Call me sentimental, but I had a lifetime of memories back home buried under my floorboard in small unmarked bills. So I busted out to retrieve my nest egg.
Dude, awesome graphics.
Remember, we're here for the nest egg and nothing else. Oh no, it's Gambini's guys.
Ah, Jimmy, they bought your old house.
No, they're here to kill us. Get ready to bust some heads. Oh, crap. We're at the Spinoli house next door.
Aw, look how big Angelo got.
So we went next door and got the nest egg. It was kind of uneventful, but we got it with us now since witness protection put us here in Regina, Saskatchewan. Because if anyone thinks they can separate a Falcone from his memories, forget about it. How you doing? I'm Jimmy MacDougal, but I used to be Jimmy Falcone, a respected New York businessman in the gangster and gangster-related industries. Then I whacked my boss and ratted out everyone I knew to save my uncle's life. Now, ratting out the mob is not as glamorous as you think. Before the trial, they stick you in a federal safe house on an army base so no one can get to you. But that doesn't mean they don't try.
Jimmy, you killed the Dawn. A simple apology ain't gonna cut it.
Hey, I offered to do the eulogy. I wasn't the one who said that's in bad taste. It was the family consigliere. His coming to see me could only mean danger, but it was still nice to have a visitor.
You know, Jimmy, back in the Roman Empire, and in Godfather too, when somebody messed up the way you just did, they were given a way to provide for their wife and kids for the rest of their lives. All they had to do was kill themselves before the trial.
Over my dead body, you son of a bitch! Said with all respect, you a man in your position.
Look, Jimmy, I've always liked you. In fact, I went to the mat for you to help your family. Help me help you.
Wow, when does the guy who doesn't like me get here?
Listen, it'll be very embarrassing for me to go back and say you won't honor this request. If you don't do this, I will dedicate my life to hunting you down. You and your family will never know a moment's peace the rest of your days.
How about the nights? Can we get the nights off? It was the hardest decision I ever had to make. All right, I'll do it. Pass it over. Turns out, it was an easier decision than I thought. So, here I am with my wife and kids alive and well in
Regina,
Saskatchewan. But if you don't think that's pretty much the same as being dead, forget about it. How you doing? I used to be Jimmy Falcone, a big shot in the Gambini crime syndicate. But I ratted out my friends, so my family and I had to go into witness protection. The thing about witness protection is, you can't just start off being witnessly protected. You gotta learn to be a whole other person, and that ain't easy.
So remember, you're no longer the Falcones, you're the MacDougals. What's your name?
Jimmy Falcone.
No, your fake name.
Oh, My fake name is Tommy MacDougal.
Don't say my fake name.
I don't know your fake name.
We'll come back to you. Now, Debbie, would you please get me a glass of water? Debbie, would you please get me a glass of water? Gina, your new name is Debbie.
I know that, but get your own freaking water.
Come on, people. You're moving in 2 weeks. One slip up and your cover will be blown.
When do I get my nose job?
There is no nose job.
Boob job?
No boob job.
Hand job?
There are no jobs.
I thought you said I have to get a job.
Yes, you have to get a job, Tommy.
Who's Tommy?
You're Tommy.
I killed a Tommy once. Nice guy.
Ah!
And that was when they decided we should stick with our real first names. And then they shipped us off to
Regina.
Saskatchewan. But if any of you think changing our name is gonna change the Falcones, forget about it. How you doing? I used to be Jimmy Falcone, a big shot in the New York crime family. Now I'm in witness protection in Canada. But I'll never forget that day I was forced to leave the only home I've ever known. Cookie, kids, get your butts in gear. Let's get this vacation started. Canada awaits.
Daddy, just because we're going overseas doesn't make this a vacation.
I ain't denying it. I was in denial. I couldn't face the fact that I was leaving everyone I ever loved and taking my wife and kids with me. Isn't this fun? A family road trip. Who's up for another round of window uppy downy? Up, down, up, down.
Whoa.
Up,
He
down.
always knows what it's gonna do.
All right. You'll be under RCMP protection from here on. Off you go.
It's cool.
Welcome to Canada. Bienvenue. Come along. I have blankets and whiskey for all of you. This will warm your cockles.
If it's gonna warm my cockles, I'll need a bigger blanket.
I'm Special Agent Straight McCool. My mission is to help you assimilate, keep a low profile, and ensure you don't violate our nation's laws.
I'm sorry. Violate what?
What a spirited group. I loved this assignment the minute I was given it. Let the protection begin. Hop in.
You gotta be shitting me. And then they took us to this crazy place called Regina, Saskatchewan. But if any of yous are thinking about a vacation up here, forget about it. How you doing? I'm Jimmy MacDougal, formerly Jimmy Falcone. I used to be a big shot in the New York Mafia until I turned rat to keep from being whacked. It wasn't easy turning on my old friends, but them turning on me first made it a little easier. But the hardest thing I ever had to do was to tell my family we had to go into witness protection. So, guys, I got something important to say. You know how all my friends are trying to kill me?
Yes, Daddy. It's all you ever talk about.
You really shouldn't bring your work home with you.
Well, I was thinking, to fix the problem, maybe we should leave town.
What?
I hate you. But I'm Class Capo.
We love it here.
No freaking way.
For once, I agree with your idiot uncle. No freaking way! Okay, let's move.
And that's how we came to be living here in Regina, Saskatchewan. But if you think it's going to keep this family from sticking together, forget about it. How you doing? I'm Jimmy Falcone, a former mafia big shot and current suburban schnook, living in witness protection in Canada. It wasn't easy giving up the old life. My family and me was used to living a certain way, looking a certain way, and mostly talking a certain way. And so I say, a bada boom bada bing, and he goes, what's the matter with you, Stugarts?
People, come on. The sooner you learn how to speak Canadian, the sooner we can send you to your new home.
Wait a minute. They don't have American cheese in Canada?
They do, but it's called processed cheese.
Does it still taste like crap?
Yes. For the most part, yes.
There's no Cliff's Notes up there? How am I gonna almost not fail my classes?
They're called Cole's Notes, but I'd recommend studying harder.
You're cute.
Wait a minute. They call a garbage disposal a garburator?
Yes.
That sounds sexy.
How come they don't have Canadian bacon in Canada?
They call it back bacon.
What, from the back end of the pig? Why don't they just call it ass bacon?
That might go good with that Progress cheese.
I got a question. Do they call it a stick-up or a hold-up?
People! It's not that hard. Bathrooms are called washrooms. Whole milk is called... Wait, this can't be right. It says here it's called... homo milk.
Oh, what kind of sick country you taking us to?
And who exactly milks these homos?
But we had no choice but to pick up this godforsaken language before they shipped us off to
Regina.
Saskatchewan, where I'm still trying to learn my ABZs. But if you think just because we live in the Great White North, we're gonna drink homo milk, forget about it.
Good evening. My name is Peter MacDougal. At least it is now. I have also been called a geek, a nerd, a geeky nerd, a nerdy geek, and a geeky nerd. But for most of my life, I've been known as Petey Falcone, son of Jimmy Falcone, one of New York's most notorious mobsters. But despite what you may have read about my father, he's actually been a very loving man who would do anything for his family.
Strike three, you're out! Home run!
But then one day, the mob turned against him, as mobsters are prone to do. And they didn't care if they got any of us in the process. But he protected his family and heroically helped convict some of the most horrible men in the country, all of whom were at my communion. And that's how we wound up here, in witness protection in Regina, Saskatchewan. And if any of you think this story wasn't just one humongous rationalization, forget about it!
Which one's the button again? Ah, there it is. Hey, how you doing? I'm Chief Falcone. Well, MacDougal. I got the alias in witness protection because of my nephew Jimmy. I don't like it, but I had no choice. So there's a contract out on me. Big deal. I mean, maybe I spilled a few secrets to anyone who'd listen, but there's a lot of other secrets I'd never tell a soul. Like the fact that we faked the moon landing. We were the ones that shot Dick Cheney's friend in the face. And we took the weapons of mass distraction out of Iraq. Someone got the memo wrong, but still, us. So, anyway, my nephew's gonna straighten things out with Don Gambini, whose first name, oddly enough, is Don. So, if he wanted, he could call himself Don, which I would do. I mean, how cool would that be?
Cheech don't mean no harm. He's just a little light in the cranial region.
I got nothing to worry about. Jimmy'll get me off the hook. Maron! Don's a pancake. Then the mob tried to kill us. Jimmy ratted everyone out to the feds, and we wound up in Regina.
Vagina? No, wait, you were right.
But if you think that's gonna stop me from shooting my mouth off, you can just... What is it? I forget what it is.
Forget about it.
That's the one.
Welcome! Bienvenue! My name is RCMP Special Agent Straight McCool. I was just your ordinary run-of-the-mill Mountie until that day I first heard the name Jimmy Falcone. I'd like to request a transfer, sir.
Again? You'd be my best agent, but you've got ants in your pants! I'd put you on vice, narcotics, homicide! You've cleaned up the entire west side of this country! What's even left for you?
Witness protection.
What? Forget it, not a chance!
Reforming the most hardened American criminals and turning them into respected members of society. What a challenge! What an honor!
Can't do it, McCool. You're too valuable to me on the streets.
I want the Falcone case, Chief. Nay, I demand it.
Don't you name me, mister! You're too high up for a job like that. I'm not gonna demote my best officer just 'cause he wants to join the Babysitters Club.
I had to take action. Perhaps there was something I could learn from Jimmy Falcone.
You are so demoted.
And that, kind viewers, is how I received this assignment. And I won't rest until this ragtag American household becomes the epitome of fine Canadian citizenship. And if you think I'm ever going to give up on this family...
Vagina!
You can forget about it.
How you doing? I'm Cookie MacDougal. I used to be Cookie Falcone, wife of Mafia Big Shot Jimmy Falcone. We was living the good life back then, but I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't want to know, because I knew what was going on. Anyway, Jimmy's Uncle Cheech was giving away mob secrets, so it was only a matter of time before he was 6 feet under. And I've never been one to wait till the last minute. He was such a good man. I'm gonna miss him so much. Don't put red flowers beside red flowers. What's the matter with you? Poor Cheech. I'll never forget his little laugh. What are you doing? You can't put food next to a dead body. Get it out of here. Oh, Cheech. Wait, get back here. Give me a crab cake. Oh, it's dry!
Cook, I got news.
I know, Jimmy. It wasn't your fault. You did everything you could, but Don Gambini is an unbending man.
He bent when he hit the pavement, I'll tell you that.
These crab cakes are dry. Hey, who died?
Holy crap! Cheech, you're alive! I'm so happy! Jimmy, you got the Don to call off the hit?
Well, yes and no. Mostly no. See, I threw the Don out a window, everyone wants to whack me, so we're moving to Canada.
Ah! And that's how we wound up living here in Regina, Saskatchewan. But if you think living here is gonna change us, you can go f yourself.
Forget about it. She meant to say forget about it.
Let me tell you something about a friend of ours named Jimmy. I made the wise guy and the capo with the Gambini. But when he found out that they'd be whacking Uncle Cheech, he'd take the boss, he threw him from the 19th floor suite. Wasn't much along till the mob all wants him dead. So Jimmy had no choice but to talk to all the feds. The feds say they helped if they could use him as a pawn. So he ratted out his friends and moved to Saskatchewan. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it.